All right, everyone. This is a really special episode today. I'm super excited. Welcome back to the Superhuman Podcast, where we dive into how modern tools, technologies, and mindsets can unlock your health, agency, productivity, performance, and everything else. Today, I'm beyond excited to introduce our guest, Kendell Myers, known as Mr. Overcomer. Kendell is a global empowerment leader, certified purpose coach, and motivational speaker who's mentored by the legendary Les Brown. With a passion for transforming lives, Kendell has spoken on stages from Atlanta to Orlando, inspiring audiences of thousands to turn pain into power. He's the author of I Am Motivation, I Am Success, Inspirational Quotes to Unleash Your Greatness, a book packed with over 100 empowering quotes drawn from his own journey of overcoming adversity. Featured in over 300 news outlets and a proud member of the Atlanta Hawks flight crew, Kendall's mission is to impact 1 billion lives by helping people rise above challenges and step into their purpose. His authenticity, vulnerability, and faith driven approach make him a true powerhouse. Kendall, welcome to the show. Is there anything I missed?
Welcome. Hey, you spot on. You spot on, brother.
Yeah, thanks. Hey, it's great. It's great to have you.
Yes,
So,
sir.
the first question is very personal. In my own life, I felt like I've been doing what seems like the right thing to do, but never really questioning what makes the right thing to do right. Is it a social dogma? Is it some idea of myself that isn't real? And so it's a very simple question. How do you find your purpose? How do you find your thing, your life's task?
That's you starting off good, man. I didn't know he was gonna come with a Mike Tyson. That's good. How do you find your purpose? That's a great question. So let's first start off by realizing who you are. And I truly feel like what shapes you is what you go through, right? From childhood, you have different traumas. From teenage, you have different situations. From young adult, and so far and so on. I'm 30. I'm 31. I know I'm speaking like I'm already 40. And when you have to address those issues, it's a lot of windows and barriers that you have to face. And the first thing is facing is how to get over this. How to accomplish this, how to jump this hurdle. So for me, one of the biggest hurdles that I had to face all the way up to the age of 13, I struggled to read three-letter words. And it made me a huge introvert, had me afraid of life, I couldn't even communicate properly. And I was glad to have parents that seen that at a young age, and I got help. And my mom got me a tutor that tutored me for 2 years. And that was the first glimpse of how to become determined and how to persevere. So when you go through trials, it's key core values that you have to develop through that. Because I went from afraid of life, afraid to communicate, to conquering that skill and developing traits that I can carry on to my life. And that was really just a mind-blowing situation because I went from struggling to read three-letter words to graduate with honors. Graduating, accepted to 13 different college universities, graduated with a 3.2. And yes, and I was vice president of my senior class, vice president of National Honor Society. So that is the first part of finding your purpose, is getting over the humps,
Mm.
right? So when you gradually get older, more situations will come, and you take those skill traits that you learn to overcome that, and then eventually is going to develop a full mindset and a full characteristic. So that's the first step.
Yeah. That reminds me of this. I don't know if there's a an old Roman emperor, Marcus Aurelius. He has a great quote. What stands in the way becomes the way.
That's good.
The problem is the way.
Yes.
And this Stoic, modern Stoic guy, Ryan Holiday, wrote a whole book on it. It was amazing, and it was kind of that. It was so enlightening, that what gives us purpose in life, the best part of life, ironically, is pain, because it
Yes.
gets us to do something about it. It gives us a purpose. And
Yes.
it's kind of amazing seeing that, you triumphed over, I guess, your problem with um, reading and communicating, and now you are a master communicator. You do this professionally.
Yes, sir.
I
Yes,
mean, that's
sir.
just so inspiring. I know this one guy from my college too, a friend of mine, and he battles with Lyme disease. And because of that, he's studying to become a epidemiologist, like study the diseases and stuff. And there's just something so inspiring about that, isn't there?
It is. It it teaches you. So I'm a believer. I'm a God-fearing man, and we all have a divine calling or divine assignment that is tasked to us.
Hmm.
And just like your buddy from college, it's that one thing that you get over that you are meant to help people that's going through that same adversity, that went through that
Hmm.
same adversity, around that same age as you. It's ironic. It's really ironic.
Yeah, it really is. The problem becomes the way. Yeah, the pain is purpose. Um, Now the faith-based approach I want to talk about faith because I feel like nowadays we're, maybe I could be wrong, but it seems like we're losing religion.
Yeah.
And I was reading Nietzsche, who was the guy who said, "God is dead. Now what are we going to do about that?"
Mhm.
To drink up the blood. It's hard to. He speaks in metaphors, obviously, but it's very impactful. It's that basically that when there's no God, there's no some thing to do,
Mhm.
even if you don't know the purpose, right? You're still trying to follow it.
Yeah.
Like, what do you do? Nihilism. And I've fallen into that trap before. So, what do you have to say about people falling into nihilism, and why, from a practical perspective, God might be a good thing for people?
Awesome. Let's go. You talking, man. You cooking with hot grease, man. So let's go to the reality.
Hmm.
When you wake up and walk outside, it's so much that you see. Some is man-made, but the others you can't explain. If you walk out at night, you see a big, beautiful starlight. If you ever been to California and drove through the mountains, I remember in 2019, I had the chance to go to Los Angeles and Las Vegas. And I went to both of them, and I drove the 3.5 hours from Vegas to California and back. And I seen nothing but beautiful mountains. I got the chance to see the beautiful sun hit off in the desert. And when you see those landmarks, you have to ask the question: did a man or a woman create that?
Hmm.
When you think about the ocean, did a man and woman pull 100 million bucket of waters to make the ocean? When you think about birds, and if you're a pet lover, your dog that you claim so dearly to be your friend or a son,
Hmm.
did man create that? Let me go a little deeper. We all come from a woman,
Hmm.
but is a man and woman so powerful where they can make your heart beat?
Mm,
And when you really face the fact of, and I'm gonna go another, I go this direction as we go. When you face that fact of it got to be something more than me when I look in the mirror.
mm,
Your intellect, how you think, how you feel. We all are created similar, but we all have different traits.
mm,
When you grasp that the world is bigger than just human beings, it got to be something that is out there.
mm,
And a blueprint is the Bible.
mm,
If you really take time, and I recently, so I've been personally saved a relationship with God for 12 years. And that came from another trial. At Alabama A&M, my second year there, I lost my father to stage 4 lung cancer. And I faced a trial. And that hurt. One of my biggest role models was gone. But I knew it was something more that I needed to do. And when I decided to become saved and really address and figure out who the Lord is for myself, that was the preparation for who I am today. And when you really think about how worldly the world is, how people not caring about people, how people are so involved with social media and the influencers,
mm,
it creates vibrations in your life, either high ones or low ones.
mm,
And most of the time, when you don't know yourself, they create a lot of low vibrations.
mm,
And the low vibrations come internally. So when it's internally, if you have a rival that you win against, that becomes an enemy. That becomes an oppressor. So when things are not high vibration, it's low vibration as default. And also that is the enemy. And so we are spiritual beings and we also human beings. And whatever we do, however we think, however we talk, it paved the way to our destiny. If we think in the Bible, it's the scripture said, so as a man thinketh, so is he. So whatever you think the most, you will become the most. So if
mm,
you always think that you will have less, you will never have more than the less.
mm,
And so when you are trying to figure out life and paint a identify direction and a path,
mm.
it's something that will help you out and something you must hold on to. Because in life we don't lose. We none of us skip out on challenges. But if you have a strong foundation, more than just chasing money, more than just thinking about what you should do, because that create a lot of confusion.
Mm.
And if you put your time and efforts on back to something that you feel like created the universe, it will pave your way and teach you the way of life.
Mm. Yeah, definitely. I definitely resonate with thinking outside of yourself and thinking outside of just kind of your primal social impulses. I'm a big fan of this one guy. He's like a Silicon Valley guy, Naval Ravikant, and he
Mm,
says that wealth is something that you need to understand from an intellectual perspective. And a lot of people understand it by this like kind of Lamborghini um,
yeah,
perspective, like the status-driven perspective, like
yeah,
all the things that end with I, Armani, Gucci,
yeah,
Lamborghini, right? And he
yeah,
said the reason for that is because for most of human history, there were no banks. You couldn't really store your wealth. It was just whoever got the most of the animal carcass,
yeah,
And so we're um, like evolved to think of status and kind of an extractive game where really we can have, if you look at all the technology around, we could have a positive sum wealth game and that is outside of ourself and like outside of our, like you said, our what is it, low wavelength?
Yeah, yeah,
Sometimes I feel
vibration.
like I operate on a low vibration, but I'm trying to up it. But yeah, no, that makes sense, you know?
And a lot of times, to the low vibration aspect, it can be what you're familiar with keep you in a low vibration. For example, friends that you've been knowing for the last 20 years or 15 years, depends on how old are you?
I'm 20.
You're 20. So oh man, you're young. You at a perfect age in life where you are figuring out its things, but you have a sense of direction. And that is good because you're at the age where it is okay to do several things, make mistakes, and you'll be on perfect time with your track.
Hmm,
And so you on a low vibration because most people around you don't think like you.
hmm,
And when you continue to put in an atmosphere what you want, by default, you have to remove things that's not good for you.
hmm,
Because you have to make room for what comes in.
hmm,
And because if you say you had a friend that you hung out with, but was a low key hater, he never really supported you. And as you continue to grind to the top and say, hey, one day I want to trade the stock market, for example, and all he know is what he know, and you taking classes, and he like, man, you could spend that money on going to kick it or the Ferrari life. Man, I'm taking course each and every day. Man, you can go. Man, why you wasting your time, bro? Let's go hang out. Let's go surf. Let's go skateboard. Let's go, roll up a doobie or something. However your habits are.
hmm,
And if you keep that person in your orbit or your vibe, so when somebody say I'm a vibe, that's what it means. Your
hmm,
vibration.
hmm,
I'm a vibe. So if you keep that person in your orbit, that person by default will have you doubting yourself,
hmm,
questioning yourself, judging yourself, and that person will try to pull you back without knowing and
hmm,
saying you changing. Are you not the same?
hmm,
That is the number one attack of the enemy because the thing about when I say enemy, let me be transparent. I'm talking about Satan.
hmm,
When you have some Satan can use the closest one to you to attack you.
hmm,
Because the thing about the spirit realm, they cannot legally be here, but they can be in somebody's vessel
hmm,
to be here. And that's a little deep for people that and and I have a question that I want to propose to people.
hmm,
In yourself,
hmm.
do you think the devil is real?
Yes. Well, I think like metaphorically real in that if anything is a sin in that it takes us off of the true best aim for ourselves that is good for today and tomorrow and the day after that and for the whole life and I guess for society and our families, etc. It's holy, like wholly good. And anything that deceives us and kind of just
Yeah,
takes away from that wholly good truth, like
yeah,
having an amazing family, like, porn or drugs,
yeah,
that is sin.
yes.
Religious or not,
Religious or not.
that is pulling away from what is wholly good for you and those around you.
It's funny that you
Yeah.
said that because the principles that work with someone, what the word I want to use? The principles that work with a believer work with a non-believer as well.
Mm,
So let me give you an example. If you do good, you receive good. If you give back, good would happen to you.
mm,
Good will happen to you. But it's a two world out here. You can live good and good happen to you, but just because you do good do not mean you're gonna become wealthy, right? So dive a little deeper.
Mm.
If you have an entrepreneur, think just a CEO, Fortune 500 company, they might be a complete a-hole. A-hole.
Yeah.
But the principles that they done to become wealthy is the principles that they will keep and the principles that will create generational wealth, that will create an early retirement for their life, and will create financial freedom for the rest of their life.
Mhm.
But if they don't have a good soul, they are playing against the cause of the enemy.
Mm.
And they are not getting bothered. Everything is flowing good. Because if the enemy has a hold on you, the enemy don't have to bother you anymore because you're already going on that track.
Mm.
But if you want to go on a good track and believe in the alpha and omega, but also become successful and grind,
Mm.
it's going to be a fight.
Mm.
But it's so the the currency of the spirit is time.
Mm.
And whatever you put your time towards, it will whatever that's what will be the result.
Mm.
So if you continue to put your time on worldly things like doing drugs all the time, watching porn, cussing people out, always want to be nasty as a person, the world has a hold on you,
Mm.
which take your soul that way. But if you spending time being a good person, getting to know God for yourself, getting to pray and know yourself as a whole, you will go up in vibration.
Mm.
And it's a little more to that. Like you have to learn the print like knowledge. Knowledge
Mm.
is something somebody can never take away from you.
Mm.
So you have to learn how to read. Like I can tell you're a good scholar. I can tell by the quotes and by quotes and the people that you follow. That is something that will continue to set you apart. And so I am in April. I just decided to start reading the Bible on my own. And so my career is logistics. So I do transportation for a medical company.
Mm.
So I take an hour or two to listen to the Bible when I have time.
Mhm.
And I recently just started to do that. And I'm gonna give you the principles of the Israelites.
Mhm.
So Israelites are the descendants of Abraham, which is the descendants of Adam.
Mhm.
So between Adam and Abraham, the people got corrupt
Mm.
by the serpent.
Mm.
And God was angry with his creation, flooded the earth. The last descendant from that place that he only trusted was Noah.
Yeah.
That's how Noah Ark came around. And so from there, so Noah to Abraham, that was the next descendant after his children. So when you have God claiming you as your special possession from Abraham to Joseph, Joseph was the reason why the Israelites, Hebrews, was in Egypt, right?
Yeah.
I'm give you a little history. And so when Joseph passed on, the Israelites went under a different um what do I want to call it? Commander.
Mm.
And they didn't know anything about nothing that God promised and nothing that God did. So when God gave the promises to Abraham to his descendants, he said, as you look up and count the stars, that's how many descendants you will have, and that's how much I will bless you. And so when you have the Israelites become free, fast forward, they get to a point where they are complaining.
Mm.
And so going back and forward with complaining, okay, I trust you. What is this? okay, I believe you. What is this? So I love you. And when they got to going back and forth, the first people of the Israelites that got free couldn't make it. Not even Moses or Aaron,
Hmm.
because that's a principle as well. So if someone help you out, say your mom, and you treated her like you didn't care when you got older,
Hmm.
that's like biting the hand that fed you.
Hmm.
And you lose that covering. So you lose that love. You lose that support.
Hmm.
So that's how God is.
Hmm.
But we don't,
Hmm.
around those times, the Old Testament to the New Testament, he wasn't as merciful as he is now. That's why Jesus Christ came around and he died for our sins. So grace is something we don't have to work for.
Hmm.
The Holy Spirit came on to us because of Jesus Christ.
Hmm.
So that's a little Bible principle of how do we get here? Why can somebody murder somebody and then become a pastor
Hmm.
and literally do so much good?
Hmm.
So the principles that went to the Bible, that's why it's a blueprint. You can be forgiven for your sins, but you have to truly repent and turn your life around.
Hmm.
So it's a mindset back to why people don't believe in this principle. Why is it such thing not faith? But if you look at again, if you believe that man created world,
Hmm.
you are already corrupt.
Hmm. Yeah, I mean, well, if you're not at least somewhat a believer in the principles, I mean, I just think that's plain stupid because, it's the principles from the Old and New Testament that literally made everything. Like they're the basis of the governments in,
Yep.
Europe that became the governments in the United States. And I mean, look, I mean, it changes companies and people and societies, and it makes order out of chaos. And
Yes. Exactly.
it's kind of
Exactly.
weird. I wish that in like maybe it is like this. I'm not in the psychology industry, but
Hmm.
I think like half of it should be exposing people to religious principles because even if you can't even if you can't, I don't know, run a lab test and pull out some numbers that are symmetrical, like the principles have worked for people for thousands of years.
Yes.
Well, through all types of technological societal revolutions, why would they be different now?
Yes. Yes. Let me. So people probably asking like, who am I, and what makes me reputable to even be this wise and have this such like gumption about myself.
Hmm.
I'm originally from St. Louis, Missouri. I was born in 1993, and in 2021, I moved to Atlanta, Georgia. And I absolutely had no idea what my purpose was. I
Hmm.
just knew I was a good person and I was here to do good things. I
Hmm.
was 27 at that time.
Hmm.
When I meditated and asked the Lord, what do you want me to do? All I kept hearing was motivation. And at this time, LLCs was at an all-time high. I'm like, motivation is not money. How am I gonna motivate to make somebody money? But I decided to be obedient and listen, motivation. And I started to go to YouTube, listen to all these different people like Les Brown, Eric Thomas, um, Evan Carmichael, Forbes Riley, um, Miles Monroe. And quite, I can't think of all the other ones off my hand, but just a couple few more. And I realized how much they change in the world by just their testimony and their story.
Hmm.
And when I struggled to read three letter words at 13, at the age of 17, going out to a teens club, and out of nowhere, bullets just got to flying.
Hmm.
Falling forward, about 15 shots went off.
Hmm.
When they was done, I looked back and seen somebody laying there. Somebody dying 5 feet away from me. At the age of 20, being in my second year of college, got a chance to spend my last week with my father before he passed. Got a chance to meet one of my oldest brother for the first time. That same week he passed. Went back to school. A week later, my roommate packed up his stuff and took some of my stuff with him. And he took a watch that my father gave me right before he passed. From 13 to 20, I done been through so much hell on earth where I could have been a drug addict, a drug dealer, a murderer, a criminal, and I had situations that I've been locked up before. Hmm. And I had to realize through all of that, who saved me, who covered me, what make me reputable to speak about these things. Life has. Hmm. But I didn't just sit on life. Hmm. I didn't blame nobody. Like my parents was on drugs. Hmm. My mom, she got clean when I was 5, but from the time about a couple years until my father passed, he was actively on drugs. You couldn't tell. Hmm. And I seen my parents abusing each other physically. And I decided to do something about it. But more importantly, I realized that, why did I go through this? And that's what we must ask. And whoever you believe in, I hope it's God. Hmm. You need to realize in this world, why do I go through the trials and tribulations that I have done? It's unfortunately, and I'm not trying to trigger anybody. It's not to nobody directly, but people got raped. Why did they get raped? Women got abused. Why did they get abused? People was put up for adoption. Why did they get put up for adoption? In this world, it's so many trials that everyone go through. It's nobody that skipped out on a trial. I got a quote that I go by. It's 2 L's that you can take, a lesson or a loss, but it's your choice on which one you choose. You can look at it as it's good or bad, but you must see which way it is leading you, because life don't get no easier. You only get stronger.
Yeah. Yeah. And maybe to add on to that, I could see that you are a formidable man. I mean, you've been through a lot and you have developed a mindset and a way of thinking and going about life that has kept you through all this. And that not only, I mean, your cup is more than full, and you're pouring on to others, and you're helping others through similar things. Um, Now, what I was going to ask is, you got made by getting beat up, essentially.
Yeah.
As a lot of people, and a lot of great people say that. But I feel like nowadays it's all about the brand, isn't it? You know what I mean? Everyone has their brand, and everyone, and we're too afraid to, one, look like we don't know what we're doing, which I don't think we do, and then two, fail. Covering up failures, office bureaucracy, trying to blame it on someone else or the market or something. How do we build fortitude? How do we build this kind of accountability and fortitude that helps people like you and the people you teach, and reconcile it with this age of branding and being perfect?
You have to be okay with being uncomfortable. You gotta stretch yourself beyond your measures. It ain't gonna always be as you planned. In this journey of being an empowerment speaker, none of these steps has not been smooth. Even now, I don't know it all. I don't know everything. I am still learning daily. And I remember I came to a crossroad last year. I was trying to connect with a high school.
Hmm.
The meeting went good, and I know they like what I was talking about, but I didn't get the partnership.
Hmm.
And I was busting my balls
Hmm.
to get to this point. I mean, investing in speaking, investing in coaches, been on 30 plus different stages from St. Louis to Orlando to Texas to South Carolina. I virtual stages of 50,000 people plus. And I felt like this is my time. I made it. I'm ready for this contract, but not in the face in where they at. And I had to realize, I had to be honest to myself. Kendall, you did the groundwork, you did the foundation, but you're not prepared and ready for this yet.
Hmm.
So now I'm back in school for psychology to get my associate's degree. I wasn't going to even go back. After I
Hmm.
lost my father, I was originally going for a logistic and supply chain management. But I wasn't going to go back. But I had to tell myself, Kendall, who do you want to be? I said, I want to be undeniable. Where you don't have to, so when a pursuit become a chase, you must make a pivot. And you can't blame it on a creator, blame it on who you believe in. You got to realize like it's something that I am continuing to do.
Hmm.
So back to the question, how do you embrace mistakes and uncomfortability? You gotta really get to a point where it doesn't matter what nobody else say what you need to do. You must know what you need to do with your life.
Hmm.
Nobody that is successful said it is easy. Trust me, I follow them. I follow multiple people. None of them said it's easy. Do you know who Eric Thomas is?
Yeah, he's
E.T. the hip hop preacher.
the hip hop preacher. Yeah.
He came, I'm going to use him for example. He was homeless. He slept in abandoned buildings.
Hmm.
He dropped out of school, got his GED. It took him 12 years to get his bachelor's degree, and he still found a way to get his PhD.
Hmm.
And now he's in his 50s. Within the last probably 10 to 15 years, he just now reached multimillionaire status.
Hmm.
But he was in Michigan State grinding. He was in, he got it off the mud.
Hmm.
And he even speak about how he was like, he really was like, he wasn't a bum, but he was a bum when his girlfriend at the time seen something in him.
Hmm.
And he even said how he was honestly leeching off on her. And he only
Hmm.
went to college first originally because she was going to college. So everybody has a walk in this
Hmm.
world. And the listen to me, y'all.
Hmm.
You must want different for yourself.
Hmm.
And when you need help, attach a why to it.
Hmm.
That mom and that father that grinding 40 to 50 hours, work two jobs
Hmm.
for your siblings, 2, 3, 4, 6, 8, 12 siblings, for your grandmother that never seen $100,000,
Hmm.
for your friends that never made that they've been addicted to drugs and you the only person to make a way.
Hmm.
In life, you might seem like that black sheep in your family, but
Hmm.
that black sheep is the light to enlighten the family.
Hmm.
So you gotta want better. You gotta want to do better, and you gotta be okay with being vulnerable and transparent when you need help, when you make a mistake,
Hmm.
because that is I have seen so many people crash out.
Hmm.
This crash out word. It's people that intentionally crash out, but it's people that automatically crash out.
Hmm.
That's what I'm talking about. Those are the people that had so much pride, the Leviathan spirit,
Hmm.
that had so much pride, suffering in silence. Man, I got it. I'm getting beat up, but I'm good. Oh man, I lost this job, but I'm good. I promise. Are you good for it? No, I'm good. I promise you, I'm good. And then when they get to a point where they win all their weight on the person that they love, And I seen it too much. They kill themselves, they kill their spouse. They got to a point
Mm.
where they got so used to somebody saying, I don't care about you. You good, you got this, keep on going. But in reality, I want y'all to know this. It's always somebody that care about you. They
Mm.
might not be around you now.
Mm.
Cause I care about, I
Mm.
don't know who I'm talking to right now, but I promise you, what I've been through, surviving a drive-by shooting,
Mm.
lost my father, and went through every emotion, been confused, even through this path of my journey. What keeps me going? What keeps me wired? The word of God and the promises that I know that He gave me, and the drive and the desire that I must impact a billion people.
Mm.
I must teach people how to turn their pain into superpower, because it's so many people that are not speaking up or not tapping into their talent. Bro, you will be surprised how many 40, 50 year olds don't even know their purpose in life. And they are 30, 20 to 30 years older than us, man. That's why I said, bro, when I asked you your age, you are so much on the right track. And when people like us unite, and you hear my story, and I hear more of your story, and we come together, bro, and do something magnificent.
Mm.
Let me send that. My wife was calling. You still see me?
Yeah.
All
Ah,
right.
I just had the worst moment. But
Yeah. So
no, but yeah, as you were saying.
she's still calling. I hope she know. I told her I'm on a call. She probably don't remember. Um. But yeah. Let me see. Can you still see me?
Yeah, yeah, no problem.
I'm podcast. I'm just sending a quick message so she
Oh,
can
no,
know.
no
Okay.
problem at all.
Okay, so yeah. All right. So yeah, bro. So more at so to end this point. Oh shit. To end this point, bro. We must be a person that, one, want to know why we're here,
Hmm.
want to unite with people,
Hmm.
and want to make a difference together. Bro, like, let's be real here. I mean, it's obvious. I'm black, you Caucasian, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it takes more of this. It don't take me to just connect with somebody, black. And I'm all about helping my people, but I'm all about more about to diversify, because we fighting the same battle, bro.
Hmm. Yeah, the human
We fight,
condition is the same.
yeah, we fighting the same battle of trying to stay above water, trying to become wealthy, trying to give back, trying to, like, we're not enemies,
Hmm.
you know? And that's how the world portray us, to try to be enemies, even with our own people.
Hmm.
And so the world, that's why media and news, it is a way to distract you and cause friction, cause you to not see things brightly. Because if you always hear somebody, this store got robbed, this car got jacked, this bank got robbed,
Hmm.
this 3-year-old child got killed, this 7-year-old child got kidnapped. If you hear that all the time,
Hmm.
it's going to keep your mind there, and you're not going to be able to focus on the prize.
Hmm.
And that is to find out who we are here to find out who we are.
Hmm.
God is the sculpture, but we is his masterpiece.
Hmm.
The way that God created us, for us to be creators.
Hmm.
So, I'm finna get deep on you. I gotta just
Get deep on me.
say somebody is a singer, somebody play guitar, um, somebody know how to swim. They are meant to show that skill to somebody else to help them out, but also that guitarist, that 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 gym person, that track person, they've been through something.
Hmm.
So as they give that skill away, they also supposed to give impact away,
Hmm.
motivation away, enhance somebody.
Hmm.
We all here for multiple things, but it all aligned in the same thing.
Hmm.
Once you came over something, you got to help somebody with that.
Hmm.
when you figure out a talent, you got to use that.
Mm,
Once you get a relationship with God, you got to keep that.
mm. Yeah. That reminds me of I took like a philosophy class, and there's this old I think German guy, Immanuel Kant, and his whole thing was that everyone should like pursue their individual truth,
Yeah,
and everyone should pursue their individual kind of pursuits. But the whole point is that we take our own failures and our own stories, and then when we take our uniqueness and the things we found out and we put it all back into, um, the public forum or whatever, everybody learns and everybody grows.
yeah,
And that's the right way of balancing like individuality and strength together.
yeah.
Another point is it is absolutely true that that quote you had of like even if no one appreciates what you do right now or loves you right now, that someone does. And with the internet, that's extremely true, I think, because you can connect like we're doing right now. I mean, you can connect with anyone
Anyone.
who might appreciate your niche kind of wacky thing. If you're in, if it was 200 years ago and you're in some town in Kansas,
Yeah,
and you could be the next Nikola Tesla. Let's say you're playing
right.
around with electricity or something, but no one cares in that town. It's like,
Yeah,
go tend the farm. What are you doing?
yeah.
But now we can really connect. I really weird. I worked at some I don't know if you know conventions like Comic-Con and stuff.
Yeah, I'm familiar. I'm
But
diverse, man. I'm diverse. You'll be surprised.
I wasn't at Comic-Con, but I was at basically Lego Con. It was like a Lego convention.
Oh, that sound dope.
And it was so interesting. All these like wacky like Lego people from all over the country, probably the only crazy Lego person where they're from, were able to get together and appreciate like Legos together. And I'm like, this is only possible with the internet. Isn't it such an amazing age we live in?
Yeah, yeah,
Isn't that
definitely.
cool?
Definitely, man. Yeah, like we are solely here to figure out why we here
Hmm.
and use it, man.
Hmm.
And it's great to because like again back to the social media. One I'm gonna take you back to the pandemic.
Hmm.
Pandemic was such a gift and a curse. It was a curse. Got to say that's the bad first. A lot of people died. It scared a lot of people off. A lot of businesses closed. But this is the pro. Some of the people that you would never ever get close to, you
Hmm.
able to get arm reach, just like me and you on this call.
Hmm.
Like so Eric Thomas is also a pastor. He does not ETE hip hop preacher for a
Hmm.
reason. He's actually a pastor.
Hmm.
And for the last 2 years, so I've been following him for 6 years, 6 or 7 years. But for the last 2 years, I've been following his church.
Hmm.
Not just following, I've been a member of his church.
Hmm.
He come to Atlanta, Georgia once a month. And because his main hub is in Lansing, Michigan.
Hmm.
So for the last 2 years, he been coming here once a month. And I started off visiting, and then like 2 months later, I volunteered. And he has every Saturday. We finna get ready to graduate. Every Saturday, he'll do a leadership training. Him and another leader.
Hmm.
So just like I see you, I've been seeing Eric Thomas face to face, just like this,
Hmm.
virtually. I shook his hands at least 5, 10 times. I'm not on a big personal level with him, but we know each other.
Hmm.
And with this pandemic, what it did was it created so many much entrepreneurs and millionaires
Hmm.
from the blink of an eye.
Hmm.
I mean,
Yeah,
these people are
really.
giving their experiences little to very few dollars, like what they used to charge on virtual they charge like so much more slimmer. Like I
Mm-hmm.
mean, a couple hundreds, sometimes free.
Mm-hmm.
Free. Thing. 2 hours that you can get some good downloads. Yeah. So to the technology aspect, and also when you are going through things, let's stop using technology to just scroll on Instagram, scroll on Facebook, man. We all guilty of it now. I'm not saying I don't do it. Like I was just watching, so you heard of Streamer University with Castanat?
Oh yeah, I know that guy, Kai Cenat. Yeah,
So
the shorter guy, right?
yeah, with the locks.
Yeah, yeah.
So the guy, Funny Marco, this I'm telling on myself, y'all. So Funny Marco he did a streamer prom. So it was some of the people that was there. I'm not Funny Marco, Funny Mike.
Okay.
Um, he did a streamer prom. He ran out Andretti, the big go-kart place, had a big streamer prom. And I literally was watching it today. Like not watching the whole thing, kind of scrolling past it, going through it fast. So we get caught up in the social media. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. But let's use it. I also use it to look up scriptures and read the Bible. Like,
Hmm.
for people that want to see God or want to get to know Him or not want to know where to start, you can go to Google. Say you need a job. A lot of people need jobs nowadays. You can literally type in scriptures for a job and read it, meditate it, for a house, scripture for homes, scripture to get over a heartbreak, scriptures to feel worthy, scriptures to
Yeah.
motivate, and
Yeah.
if you don't want to go on such the Christian side, go on YouTube. How to become better, how to become worthy, how to break through insecurities, how to break through anxiety. Like you can go personal development route and grow and increase. And let's go a little further. How to start a business. How to like if you want to be if you ever question to want to do a trade like HVAC,
Hmm.
before you even spend money, you can go on YouTube University and type in the beginning of how to be an HVAC worker,
Hmm.
how to start an HVAC business,
Hmm.
how to, I mean, the list goes on. How to be a fitness trainer, how to be a barber. Like
Yeah.
you get the drift, man. Like
Yeah.
we got to use the technology for what it is. Like it was a big saying. Money is the root of all evil.
Hmm.
Nah, nah.
Hmm.
The intentions that you have about behind money can be the evil.
Hmm.
That's like guns, guns don't kill people. People kill people.
Hmm. Yeah, sorry, just writing down some notes. But this is a common theme that comes up in a lot of my episodes because it seems that this is the biggest health crisis. I'm not even going to say mental health, but health crisis, which is like the hyper stimulation of the internet, especially in Gen Z and millennials, etc.
Absolutely. And man, you shouldn't have said that. That's like these kids are like 5, 6 years beyond their age.
Hmm.
Like I'm a stepfather of three,
Hmm.
13, 10, and 7.
Hmm.
And so just the evolution of them learn, and I've been in my wife's life and all of their life for the last 3 years. I just recently got married in March.
Oh, congratulations.
Thank
That's
you,
awesome.
thank you, thank you. And these kids, one thing about, because you seem like you was raised right, so you don't necessarily fit in this category. So we people like us naturally respect our parents, naturally respect our elders. This generation is a little different. You have to show them that you care so they can respect you. And
Hmm.
there's nothing wrong with that. It's like it can be and can't. You got to understand when the world evolved, people evolve with it,
Hmm.
and so you got to be more mindful to guide the Gen X and the children and the youth, and show them that you care, and then try to teach them things.
Hmm. Yeah, yeah, for sure. I worked as a teacher, a music teacher with these
Okay.
kids, and they'd bring in their iPads. I don't know why their parents let them bring in their little iPads. It made my job like 10 times as hard, but yeah, they were just glued on there, and you cannot wag a finger at them to do something, because it's like, well, I'll just go do something else. You have to like convince them that it is what they want to do. Like I
Yeah.
would I would like it's a music camp, right?
Uh-huh.
So I would have like games and give them like titles like King of the Stage. And it's, I want to be king of the stage. I want to play
Right.
the instrument and do the thing. And because if you're just competing with do it because I say so, like they have so many other options and it's
Yeah.
rough.
Yeah. Yeah. It's these kids is not gonna listen at all.
No, they don't.
Like again, back to the tablet and iPad. And that's when like we gotta direct our children to different things to watch, because you can only micromanage them on social media, what they watch, for just so much.
Yeah.
But that's why the training come in handy.
Mm.
Like talk to them about what's right and wrong and what is laid down. But again, you must it it's not a nobody, especially children, are a one size fit all. So you cannot take a one size fit all approach. And that's what you've been a teacher. You can resonate. That's what's wrong with the curriculum.
Mm.
Like it cannot be just you teach this you teach this student this and you teach them like this. You teach all, and then you do it at all.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, no, no, no.
Yeah, it's funny on the very episode of this podcast, I talked to someone who was in education. He teaches at the University of Wisconsin-Madison, and he brought up this insane study. It's known as the oh, everything
Sorry.
good? All good.
Is my camera blurry? Or I'm
No,
good.
no, no, you look
Okay.
great.
All right.
Everything's
Cool.
good.
Cool.
Um, but yeah, it's called the Six Sigma study, and or is it Three Sigma? Oh no, Two Sigma. Oh my goodness.
Sure. It look a little blurry. Hold on. I'm listening.
Yeah, you're good. Yeah, sometimes
All
you
right.
gotta wipe it off. Oh
Blur.
yeah, there we go.
Yes,
I think it
sir.
was called two sigma, some
Uh huh.
amount of sigmas. So that's a standard deviation. I think it was two sigma. Um, so that's a standard deviation from the mean. And the context is test. Oh,
My bad. I was sliding something up. Sorry. Sorry.
you're
Don't mind
so
me.
good. You're so good. You're so good. Um, yeah, the context is like test scores,
Uh huh.
or like school improvements.
Yeah.
And basically, it was showed that when students were given one-on-one tutoring, they performed on average two standard deviations
Yes.
higher than, when it was a one-to-many teaching.
Group. Yeah.
So that's like, that's like 50th percentile add.
Yeah. That's different.
Yeah, and the great thing about AI is now we can finally customize education to kids, and there's already some AI schools, I think, doing that.
Mm.
Um,
Yeah. Yeah.
so that's a fascinating and hopefully at the end of the day beneficial thing. I got a buddy who tried to start a company around that, trying to use AI to tailor education. But you're absolutely right. It's definitely antiquated, this one-to-many teaching. It's causing a lot of problems, isn't
Yeah. Yeah. But like you said, the AI aspect, but that's a whole nother hour. Like,
it? Yeah,
like
what's
I've
your
been.
what's your take on AI?
Oh, bro, it's genius.
Hmm.
It's genius. It's genius. Like the time that it took you to naturally create something, AI can help you in 5 seconds. Like, so I this I got to get a juice, man. This is a little gem. So if you put ChatGPT and Canva Pro, both of them, that's like Kobe and Shaq. That's like Damian Lillard, Giannis.
Yeah.
That's like AD and LeBron when wasn't injury prone. That's
Yeah.
like uh Shaq and Kobe. Did I say Shaq and Kobe?
Yeah.
but but yeah, man, like you can create some masterpieces, bro. Like me and so this is like a kind of different version. So me and my wife, we
Yeah.
started a thing called Royal Air Transformation Experience.
I saw,
So
yeah.
it helped people break bondages.
Mm,
So bondages are a thing. So how I put bondages is like if you ever been addicted to something,
mm,
but like something really bad where it's addicting
mm,
and you wanted to stop it, but you can't,
mm,
it's not you. It's a spiritual tie to that. It
mm,
can be a familiar spirit. Familiar spirits are spirits that have been in your generation for years. So
mm.
say someone been violent, like say somebody grandma been violent,
Mm,
and a familiar spirit, it might skip the mother, like so you got the grandmother, the mother, and the child.
mm,
It might skip the mother, but it might go to that child, so the
mm,
grandchild, and they start raging. So that's stuff you gotta break. You got monitoring spirits, which are tied to people. So when the enemy use people to just use you and so far and so on, you got orphan spirit that's
mm.
feeling rejected. You got a Leviathan spirit, that's the pride spirit.
Okay.
Uh, yeah, so yeah, it's deep. So we created this
Oh, that's amazing.
from Chat GPT. I know you probably
Yeah.
can't see the whole thing,
Oh no,
but yeah,
it looks good on here.
yeah.
Yeah.
So man, so how I got into it when I started pursuing my entrepreneur journey, um, I was gonna go to Fiverr and get somebody to do a logo. But so, man, I was like, let me go ahead and try to do that. And you see it's time to step up with the wolf, the eagle, and the bear. I don't know if you've seen it. I don't know if you've seen it. You might not have seen it. So I created my own logo.
Hmm.
And then I started
I
creating
did
my
see
own.
this. I did see this. Yes. Oh,
Yeah.
it's on your website. Yeah.
Yeah. So I created that. Then I started creating flyers. Then I started creating presentations, and the list going on. So AI. So in a nutshell, AI can create like so many masterpieces, and how you market and how you use it. Like me and my wife, we getting ready to launch. Like we created like ebooks, like start like last year that we never launched. Like they good too, but we just trying to find the right direction, the right time.
Mm,
That's one thing about skills.
mm,
You can be skillful as you are, but that marketing aspect is a beast, bro.
mm.
Like, I mean, woo, like, man, ooh, to be a marketing person, you got to be very skilled, man.
Mm. Yeah, I mean, understanding, people's psychology, what's going to resonate.
Yeah.
People are really unpredictable, so
Oh my God,
that's
trends are unpredictable.
oh yeah.
Like music is unpredictable.
Yeah.
Like, bro, yeah, it's like, it's so much. I ain't even gonna get into this conversation, but it's so many people that like us, like not us, but like us, idolize these celebrities and these wealthy people and want their life, but don't even know what they did to get there. You
Hmm.
know, they want their life and hate their life so much. You know, and it's like it's sad. It's sad to see. Like I only use social media for real to I use it for like news aspect, and I look at videos here and there, like who don't, but I use it. Only reason I'm still on there because I post things like
Hmm.
going towards like Royal Air experience, and
Yeah.
like I remember I took a break from social media, and it was like the most healthiest thing ever. Like
Hmm.
I didn't delete my page. I just deleted the apps where you can't go through it.
Yeah.
Recommend it, highly recommend it if you never did
Hmm.
it. By the way, anybody. And for like 3, 4 months, man, and you realize you do not need social media the way you do when it's not accessible.
Mm,
Uh, it's a fast. Like fasting is good. Like just like you a fast for candy or food or social media is one of the best fasts because you can catch yourself. And I'm beyond like this one thing about me. I'm very transparent. Like subconsciously, not even on purpose, because I celebrate people. I love people growth. But when you not somewhere your mind go there. And what I mean by that, you'll start seeing people being successful and winning and having opportunities, and your mind start to hate on them. Your
mm,
mind start to be like, bro, why they always getting this? Man, why they always, bro, like, dang, they doing this again?
mm,
And it ain't even you again. That's the enemy.
mm,
That's the enemy. Again, like I know y'all like, bro, why is he saying it? And because your mind don't just operate a certain way for a reason.
mm.
Like you don't if you got so I hate to go here, but I have to.
Go
If
there.
somebody in your family did something wrong, you possibly have to pay for that.
Mm,
You ain't even had nothing to do with that spiritually. Like let me be more direct and so y'all can understand spiritually. Like if you was the first one to become wealthy in your family, you know how twice as hard you gotta work
mm,
because most likely all your family know is poverty.
mm,
So the mindset is poverty. So it's that like that's why you must understand like the spirit side of things
mm.
because it be past why things are going wrong on a physical sense. You could be doing everything. You can change your schedule to have better time management. You can stop procrastinating. You can change jobs finally. But you like I'm still stuck mentally. Like you got what's his name? Robin Williams, the one Jumanji.
Mm.
You remember him?
Yeah, Robin Williams, the guy who killed himself.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Like when you see somebody like that, like cause I on my workshop I talk about him.
Mm,
Like if you see his life outside of him,
mm,
it look like he has an amazing life.
mm,
He was in every movie, make tons of money. He always smiled in all his movies, but he killed himself. Why? 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 So again, to that point, like you were saying something earlier about how people feel like the Ferrari life, like people want to buy wealth. You gotta have spiritual wealth before physical wealth.
mm.
It teaches you how to operate. It teaches you how to hold on to it. It teaches you how to use it. You know how many rookies or people that was in NBA football, not baseball. Baseball keep money, but football, baseball, basketball. How many people blew money like after like how in the world is this person
Yes.
broke?
Yeah, the statistics on that are wild. Morgan Housel, Psychology of Money, was a book I read that went into that. It's an astounding amount that like get into like literally almost poverty, or at least definitely lose a
Yeah,
substantial chunk shortly after making millions of dollars in income. It's crazy.
yeah. What do you have? What's so? As we right here, what question after what you have any question? What question do you have? You have any question?
Oh yeah, sure. And well, I just want to let you know that like I love when it flows like this. Like
For sure.
not trying to like I don't like when I listen to like a podcast and then like they have a list of questions to get through, and then like someone would be on a great someone would be on a great sort of tangent,
Yeah,
the good kind of tangent, and they just cut in. They're like, oh, we got to get through these questions. It's like,
got
no,
you,
no, you don't.
got you. What?
It's like trying to fit someone into a bed by cutting their head off or something. You know what I mean?
Got you. Okay, well, all
So,
good.
oh,
I'm
I'm just
flowing
letting you know that I love how this is going.
for sure.
If you feel like oh maybe we're not getting to the questions, this is nice, and
Good.
this is
No,
great. This might be
no,
my best episode, man. I love it.
I love it, bro. And I believe you. People don't lie about that. I believe you.
This is also going the longest too, so that's also cool.
You said it's also doing what?
It's we're also going the longest ever. Usually I cut before this. How long do you have? I'm willing
I
to go.
mean, like we can go like within 30, 45. Like, bro, we still like I'm
It's
like
cool.
good. We can flow.
Sweet. All right. I did have another question though on my document that I guess we can get to, which is tips on yeah. Do you have any tips on you know like you said earlier? It's really powerful how these guys um, your mentor Les Brown
Les
was his name?
Brown. Yep.
Les Brown, Deneric Thomas, how these people can make such a huge impact, and you, of
Yeah.
course, with words,
Yeah.
that's crazy. And any entrepreneur, um, any politician, any person would probably want to know how to wield that power for their interest in the common good. So do you have any tips on motivating people, striking people at the core?
Got you.
Um, I remember there was a video on your YouTube, and I saw this one kid being interviewed about your, I guess, session after, and I could tell his voice was trembling and he was very impacted.
Mm,
And so, any tips on how a leader can really invoke that in someone?
that's a good question. That's a great question actually. So to your point, public speaking, you you do not have to be a public speaker to be a public speaker. Let's get that straight, right?
Hmm.
Everybody calling is not to be on the stage motivating people to even facilitate a meeting, like
Hmm.
if you choose or not. But it is necessary to know how to communicate. Because let me share something with you, bro. For the last hour and 15 minutes, we've been public speaking to each other.
Yeah.
It's one person or multiple people. And so, how do you motivate people, right? So, I'm big on storytelling. Like Les Brown, I learned that from my one of my good mentors, and I love everybody love a good story.
Hmm.
And in everybody's life, depends on how old you are. You probably have three testimonial stories that you can share.
Hmm.
And like I can flash through, three of them, like, from me struggling to read, me losing my father, to, someone getting killed next to me,
Hmm.
you know? Um, and you can package that as such subjective. So depends on the topic, right? So you want to the hard. So I'm gonna get to the hardest thing is reading the room.
Hmm.
That is an ongoing process. Just reading the room. Period. That's all I got to say. I'm still learning that. Okay, so
Yeah.
that's the hardest part of it.
Hmm.
But once you first work on, so how I did it, I started a YouTube channel,
Hmm.
and I originally was going to do interviews like this, um, but I just kind of lost the steam. But in the midst of that, I just started speaking on random topics, as you've seen, and just going 5 to 10, 15 minutes. So that helped me get comfortable with speaking.
Yeah.
And then I got coaching.
Hmm.
So that taught me how to share my story and also get my speaking voice. And then from there, it's practice, it's rehearsing, it's
Hmm.
repetition. You know, you going like, man, I was it last year, bro. Last year I bombed a speaking engagement. Like you still bomb them, bro.
Yeah.
And that goes to the point I didn't read the room correctly.
Hmm.
Like I had a great speech. I brought a lot of energy, but it was like a crowd. So it was supposed to be bigger than this, and this was supposed to be a partnership that didn't go past that day, basically.
Oh.
Yeah, man. And I was down. I
Mm.
was down, bro. And that happened like a month before the time I told you I met with the high school, and it didn't
Uh,
go right.
yeah.
So I'm bro. So this kind of side note. So I remember being so hurt, bro. Like I was just like, God, you called me to do this. Why is everything going wrong?
Mm.
Ain't no way. I told myself I didn't come to Georgia and said I was gonna speak on no stage. I
Mm.
know for sure God told me to do this. And I'm
Mm.
like, ain't no way. Like I'm being disciplined. I'm going to these town hall meetings, these school meetings. I'm meeting with decision makers. God, why is it going wrong? Like, and I remember, bro, being next to my wife, still girlfriend at the time. Nobody up but me and God. I'm crying, bro.
Mm.
I'm like, bro, why is this going wrong? Like, why everything going wrong? And God hushed me real fast. He said,
Mm.
"Is everything going wrong? What? You sure about that?"
Mm.
And then my mind instantly went to all last year. I was like the best servant leader on the planet. Like I was doing community outreach every month.
Mm.
Like for Atlanta Food Bank, um, giving different book bag drive, just so many different things. Feeding the homeless,
Mm.
volunteering in church, developing myself as a leader, as a servant leader.
Mm.
And so I took a pivot. I decided to change my mind and the the mindset that I was using for community outreach and serving for the church. I put that into my brand. And now, bro, you would think I'm a whole changed man, bro, because I don't care about no speaking engagement.
Mm.
And let me get more deeper.
Mm.
I love to speak. I'm going to speak around the world. But again, when your pursuit become a chase, you must make a pivot. Listen
Mm.
to me, y'all. What is the difference between? Because they can look similar. Like when you start to pursue something and it's exciting and you love it, and it's glorifying you, it's glorifying God, it's motivating you, it's keeping you up, it's getting
Yeah.
like, yeah, that's good. But once that thing start, when it start become stressful, when depression start being tied, when you say I want to quit this stuff, I'm watching my language today. And you say I want to like not do it, like bro, I want this, I want to talk to this person. When it starts to get to you like that, it become a chase, my boy, my girl. It become a chase, and you must make a pivot. And sometimes that pivot is leaving it alone completely or coming back to it later.
Mm.
So I had to make a pivot in my mindset, and that's when I decided to become undeniable. And that's the decision when I started to go back to school. I'm currently in school pursuing my psychology associate's degree at Atlanta Metropolitan State College.
Mm.
Um, I started to be more involved in church. Like I let me share something with you, bro. Like I've been saved for the last 2 years, bro. But I just became this particular guy friend, man. The end of this January, bro. No lie. I went to this retreat and it changed my life. It was a 3-day retreat,
Mm.
and I caught the Holy Ghost for the first time.
Mm.
I prayed and spoke in tongues for the first time,
Mm.
and my hunger for God completely changed.
Mm.
That was the moment when I said, I really want to get into your word now, God. I want to know you better. I want to trust you more. I pray 2, 3 times a day, bro. Not just for myself. I pray for my family, my mom, my brother,
Mm.
my girlfriend, excuse my language, my wife, my children. You know what I'm saying? Like I pray for other people, my friends, best friends, close friends, family. Um, I just decided to pursue him more than ever because, and bro, where I'm at right now, everything's not perfect.
Mm.
But where I'm at right now, I am the most happiest. I know myself better. I trust myself better. If if everybody just left me right now, I would be happy just being by myself.
Mm.
Like, and I got this way because how I've grown in Christ, how I'm able to be more mature and be a leader. You know, not only just being a husband and being a father, because that's a natural born leader, just, you know, develop leadership in you, but serving and giving back to others. And so, like right now, like how speaking engagements come now, I let them come to me. I don't. I'm in school, so I'm developing myself, developing my knowledge, develop my wisdom. So when I do come back and them opportunities come, and I do pour into, like, the way that I'm gonna pour into people, it's gonna be so different. It's something God told me to do that I did not want to do. February, when was it? February. I was volunteering at this place called what state you in, bro? What city you in?
The great state of Illinois. I'm in Chicago, kind of a suburb.
For sure. Okay. My brother live in Chicago right now, uptown.
Oh, nice.
Yup. So when you I just lost my train of thought to where was I at?
God told you to do it even though you didn't want to. You're gonna pour into people.
So I was volunteering at the this center, this at-risk youth center called Ed Promise Center.
Hmm.
So it's a wraparound service for middle and high school, help them get their GED. They got a studio for them, help them with arts and crafts, they planning. They got different recreational teams like cheerleading, basketball. All, got video game. I mean, the nicest center. I mean, from 12 to 20 different partners. It's the Atlanta Police Foundation started it.
Hmm.
And I was there for like 4 months. Like from November, October, November to like February. And I started school and I went my first semester, I started January. I went from like 3 classes to 5 classes because one my other classes started like the next month, like the other two. And I'm like, bro, this is like too much. And then I was still working for Atlanta Hawks. So that's a part-time season. And so I worked them a week or two. So I had to make a decision. And God was like, do it. I'm like, you sure, God? Like, I just got here. I don't want to let the kids down. God was like, do it. I don't want to. And this is what God told me. He was like, granted, this is great what you're doing. This is important what you're doing. But the path that I'm taking you on, the development that you are getting, you're going to be able to do this and impact kids way beyond this. So
Hmm.
I trusted him.
Hmm.
And then that's when like leadership at church started to pick up, and you know everything started to pick up, like being a community coordinator
Hmm.
for APOC, which is Eric Thomas Church.
Hmm.
And things kind of just start changing with that. We're supposed to do a lot more, but it just been busy with that.
Hmm.
And I'm like, that's why he wanted me to do that, you know. And so yeah, you have to um trust the process. I know I'm talking about motivating, but like what I'm sharing y'all, it just coming to me. What I'm sharing to y'all is y'all journey to
Hmm.
motivate in whatever anything you do. It's gonna be so many trials that you question yourself, you want to stop. It's things that you want to hold on to precious and dearly. Like even like we had to make a decision with, you know, when we got to change church and different things.
Hmm.
Like, you know, when God started to reveal things to you, the Holy Spirit. Because think about the Holy Spirit, it is your intuition, the thing that tell you like, oh, you shouldn't do this. Oh, you shouldn't go there. Oh, you should. Because if you think an alarm clock wake you up, you are a fool, my
Hmm.
brothers and sisters. Like so,
Hmm.
so I'm going back to the faith. Why should you believe in God? Because life is hard. And if you don't give him your full time, by default, you give your time to the enemy. Because
Hmm.
when he wants you, he's gonna get you. Because you don't have no foundation and nothing to hold on to. Like, if you've been a good person, bro, check this out. If you've been a good person and everything is going wrong, and everything and everybody is turning their back on you and being bad, I guarantee you're gonna change in some type of way, shape, or facet
Hmm.
if you don't hold on to something good
Hmm.
past you.
Hmm. Absolutely. I really, really love that quote you said. Um, where is it? If you think your alarm clock is what gets you up, you're a fool.
Yeah.
That's great, man. I want to put that on my wall. Is that from someone? Is
That's
that
me.
that's an
That's me.
original? Ooh,
Like
is that
that's
in the book? That's a
no, it's not on the
banger
book, bro.
quote,
This
dude. No
this
way.
is
Did you come up with that on the spot?
on the spot.
Man,
Like,
I would put that on my wall, dude. That's a good quote, man.
bro, the reason why I created a motivational quote book is because of that. Like it so in my 20s, in my early 20s, because I published it when I was 27. I'm 31 now. I'm be 32. Like in that teen 20 years, I always called myself every time I talked to somebody, had a good conversation, I always had a good quote that come off the hip, man.
Hmm.
And so that and I didn't publish my book until I went through something.
Hmm.
Like when I first got here to like trying to pursue because I didn't so I moved here January 1, 21, literally,
Hmm.
bro, New Year's Day. And then in April is when like so them first 3 months I was working. I had a contract job, but my soul was not being fulfilled, man. And it brought me down instantly. Cause I'm like, I didn't come to Georgia to just work. And in April, so I literally, bro, got down and prayed, bro, and asked God, what do he want me to do? And he told me motivate. So not also when I was pursuing speaking and YouTube channel and all this stuff, I started to publish my book, bro.
Hmm.
And like, did nobody know? Did nobody know? Like, I launched it on my birthday. Like, I
Oh,
remember being at the sugar factory. My brother flew in town from Chicago. My mom was there, and I had like three other cousins there. And I was waiting on my book to come, and it just came right before we went to dinner. And at the end of dinner, I opened it up. I like, Mom, look, I published the book. You know, um,
that's the best.
bro, my first year, bro, I went so hard, bro. Like my first year here, I started a YouTube channel. I became a ICF, which is International Coach Federated Certified Purpose Coach. I spoke on 12 different stages, virtual too. I was mentored by Les Brown. I published my first book. I'm connecting with different councilmen, bro. Bro, I said, whoa, my life just changed. Like, whoa. So it's like, you gonna know your purpose when it's there. I promise you. You gonna want to pursue it. You're gonna be hungry for it. You're gonna want to do everything it takes. You're gonna put money towards it.
Hmm.
You're gonna grind. You're gonna go get it. Like that's the thing about me, bro. Like I didn't just start speaking. I practiced. I got coaching. I paid for some stages.
Hmm.
Like, bro, I'm reputable, bro. I'm in Brains magazine. That would happen in 2021 at the end, and that year Oprah Winfrey was in there, Jay Shetty was in there, Jessica Alba was in there.
Hmm.
Like, bro, like I recently, my most recent article, the one the Voyage ATL, bro.
Hmm.
This May 1st. Like I ain't that, and that came off the blue,
Hmm.
bruh. I didn't look for that. It came to me. They inboxed me. I think on LinkedIn,
Hmm.
and they did a little interview. Did it, bro? Like, and you see my different pictures, bro. Working, volunteering, speaking to different people, bro. I decided to when I found what I want because for so long, bro, I didn't know who I was.
Hmm.
Like when I was 13, like a little bit like from like 13, 17, a little bit. But my whole like adolescent year with me struggling to read, bro, I was lost.
Hmm.
I was sleepwalking. Bro, like I, that's one thing that I do in the midst of all of this. I help people find their self identity, bro, because I found it.
Hmm.
It wasn't easy. Nothing came easy, bro. That's why I got good work ethics.
That's just great. Yeah. Yeah, man. I'm still thinking about that quote. But yeah, that reminds me of some in this like philosophy class, there's this like old Danish philosopher,
Yeah,
and I don't know if this will resonate with you at all, but he compared all these ancient stories of sacrifices where it's like some military commander, some Greek myth, a military commander had to sacrifice his son to protect the city, right?
yeah.
But then it was comparing it to Abraham.
Mm,
Abraham had to sacrifice his son for what? For God.
yep.
Well, what is God going to do? What?
Right.
It makes no sense.
Right.
It's paradoxical, but that's the thing about faith. It's
Yeah.
not like all the other things where you know what's going to happen. You have to
Yeah.
trust God, and it made a big impact on me. It sort of aligning with a lot of the things you're saying. Soren
And, and,
Kierkegaard.
and and by the way, just he actually didn't sacrifice his son. He was about
Yes,
to.
yes. That sorry. Yeah.
But but back to the point, because I just for people like that don't know the Bible, so they can know the right things.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
He trusted God so much that he was gonna sacrifice his
Yeah.
son because God did tell him.
Yeah.
But when he seen how real he was and how true he was, and he finna give his son, he stopped him. He had him sacrifice like a lamb or something instead. But that was the moment that he said he's gonna bless all his descendants. Look at the
Yeah, yeah.
stars, and like,
Yeah.
and if you and it, for the real believers out there, we are his descendants because that was the first people. Like for people that don't it like really understand,
Hmm.
like people can believe whatever they want to believe. But again, if you think that your mom was strong enough and powerful enough to make your heart beat, I mean, yeah, she gave birth to you,
Hmm.
but are you attached to your mom now? No, you can't even make your own mom heartbeat. She can't make your heart beat. She can't make your mind function. She can't make your hand move.
Yeah.
Even when you are teaching a child how to grow, you don't tell a child when to open their eyes. You don't tell a child when to say their first words. You
Hmm.
don't do that. You can't do that. It's impossible. So kind of like the if people put more like because this is the question that I have, bro, with me growing in Christ and want to be a soul winner. Because the Great Commission of Jesus, one, having salvation, believing Jesus the Lord and Savior, being saved. But the second is bringing people to the kingdom, bringing people to the Word. So my objective now is like, say, so do you consider yourself a Christian or saved?
Um, I mean, I guess I was born Jewish,
Got you. Okay,
but
understood.
I don't know. Ugh.
It's understood, bro. It's
I hate to
understood.
say agnostic because it's just like
No, it's
it's
fine.
such a like millennial like oh I don't know like pick
No,
one,
you're fine.
but
You're fine.
I guess agnostic
So okay,
unfortunately.
I'm gonna use you for example. Like say like how like my job now is how can I make God sound cool? How
Yeah.
can I make Jesus? How can I make, you know, Proverbs 3:5, trust in the Lord with all your heart, lean not to your own understanding. How can
Mm,
I really help make that touch your heart? You know
mm,
what I'm saying? Like Romans 18:21, life and death is in the power of the tongue.
mm,
How can I really make that resonate to you? Because when somebody told I didn't tell you that, I got that from somebody.
mm.
How can I make that cool enough to be like, man, let me get that a try. Let me really build something with that. You know what I'm saying? So again, like, everybody's born different. Everybody have a different path, different, identity. But I from my belief and my understanding is, hey, God even created Lucifer.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like from what we know and what we like from the Bible standpoint. And this is another thing. This been ringing in my head so much, bro, that I constantly hear, and I had to say, you know, when it comes to like Buddhist, Muslim, Hinduism, atheists, don't nobody test that or trial that. But when it comes to like Christianity, people always say you should go against that. You should listen to that. You
Yeah.
should that is a when something when people want to keep something away from you, they say it's bad for you.
Yeah.
That's all I'm gonna say, bro. Like I'm not here like, hey, I mean, hey, if you want a salvation call, look, hey, it's here. But I'm not here to force this on you, bro. You know what I'm saying? But hopefully it just the principles are life, man. The principles of life, bro. And
Yeah.
go ahead, bro.
And I was just gonna say, this whole like, people ripping on Christianity because they think it's, maybe rebellious or whatever. Some people say sky daddy. I mean, to think that what has been sort of the rock of like the past 1,000 years of Western civilization, to
Yeah,
like throw it aside, that's just, it might bite you later. I mean, I read the Old Testament, the New Testament. I'm really into religion because of it. I mean, it's time tested principles,
yeah.
because what's written, in the last 2 years, probably going to last maybe another 2 years, right? But what was written 1,000 years ago, that'll
Hey,
carry for
bro,
freaking a
come
thousand
on, man.
years. No, seriously. And
Come
even
on.
and even before that, I mean, the Old Testament, I think, was based on a lot of even earlier, like Hebrew mythology and whatnot,
Yeah.
and it's let people and communities thrive for so long, and to think that we're different because there's new technologies or new social structures, I mean, it's just silly
Yeah, man.
to think it
Like,
won't help us.
for sure. I don't know how, like, I'm going to choose to believe this.
Yeah.
So, when the Israelites got free and Moses brought the Israelites to the Red Sea. When God basically showed his first huge power that he had it for real
Mm.
after the plagues, of course. Um, when he parted the Red Sea, right, and the chariots went after the Israelites,
Mm.
God twisted up their wheels and waited till the Israelites get to the other side so he can close the water in.
Yeah.
I was watching this guy. I wish I remember his name. I recently just watched it like 2 months ago. I just came across it, and he was talking about Mount Zion. So Mount Zion is the first place where God talked to Moses in the burning bush.
Is it Mount Sinai?
Zion, yeah, Sinai.
Okay.
My
Okay.
bad if I'm pronouncing it wrong. Um,
That's just the one I always hear. I
yeah,
could be
yeah,
wrong. I'm not a
Sinai, something.
something like that.
So it was a guy
Yeah.
proving where this mountain is because it was burning. It burnt,
Yeah.
and so he showed when the Israelites struck the water. To get Moses struck the water to get the water flowing out the rock. And so first he talked about how divers in the Red Sea, how they actually found the chariot wheels.
Oh, yeah.
I, hey, I'm just literally going off what I think. I believe that anyway, but that just gave me personally double confirmation.
Yeah.
You know, and let me be honest, bro. Like we transparent here. Like so, when I first got saved, when I was 20, after losing my father, I was like in a church heavily for like 4 or 5 years straight.
Mm.
And then my god brother showed a video to me that showed like the corruption of Christianity, like how it was forced and how it was forced. Long
Mm.
story short, the corruption. And I stopped believing in God. Well, not no, hold on. I always believed in God.
Mm.
I stopped believing in Jesus. I stopped believing in,
Mm.
you
Okay.
know, Baptist Christianity.
Yeah, yeah.
I always believed in God. I'm like, let me get that right. I always believed in God, but I didn't believe in the Son. I didn't believe in none of that.
Mm.
Yeah. And so how I got back there, so when I moved to Atlanta, my first year, I was still kind of in that path. So for about 3 years, believing in God, and I'm like, God gonna have to tell me Himself, because it's too much back and forth. The book's been rolled multiple times. One person talking about this, one person talking about that, and I'm like, God gonna have to tell me Himself that He had a son that He gave up for us.
Yeah.
But I so 2022, New Year's, I met this pastor, and he invited me to a church. He told me to come speak and everything because I told him I was a speaker, and he let me speak and stuff. So I started to get back into Christ, and I still was on some like I don't know if I still believe in Jesus Christ, but I'm not religious, but I'm going to feed my soul for God. And so like last year, I was just still on that. I was back in church, but I didn't consider myself in religion, Baptist, none of that. But I believed in God. It was still a question about Jesus Christ. And then so me and my wife, this church we was going to, this this sermon just resonated with me. It's like basically it was saying, to paraphrase, if you believe in God, you can't believe in God without believing the Son. Pass for it. That's just what it is. And I finally came to grips with myself. Like, if I want to all the way do this, I'm gonna trust that and know that Jesus Christ had died for us.
Mm.
And but we still we everybody gonna still find out. But I believe that. I'm gonna believe that because I don't want to be in the gray area and I'm pursuing God and giving my all. But he tell me like, you missed the biggest step. You didn't believe that I gave my son for you. So I chose not to do that. So again, I went through a journey of putting it down, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, and now, like honestly, I feel like he's even possibly, yeah, it's okay. And he's possibly leading me to teach the word more. I'll say that. In different variations. Because I was just on some, look, I'm just gonna give you motivation and be your social emotional learning coach. That's it. Like, I mean, I'm gonna share my testimony of God, but because people was like, bro, you remind me of a pastor. I keep the pastors where they at. I'm motivation where I'm at. And so I'm starting to. It's about being obedient and submitting to Him and having faith. Like you don't see faith, man, but you got to believe that it's already there. Like, I know that God has called me for this. I know that God is going to make everything possible. And I know God is teaching me different lessons on the way there. God led me to be a husband, like, for real.
Yeah, that's amazing stuff. And yeah, I promised only 30, 45 minutes more. Don't want to hold you too long, but
Okay.
um yeah, so this was a really, really, really powerful episode of the Superhuman Podcast. We heard the extraordinary journey of Kendall, from a young boy who couldn't read, a man saved by faith, purpose, and perseverance. Through trials, trauma, spiritual warfare, and personal loss, Kendall
Yeah.
found strength not just in survival, but in transformation, learning to read, finding God, and becoming a vessel to inspire others.
Yes.
His message, I mean, it sounds pretty clear. Adversity is the doorway, faith is your foundation, purpose is your path. Whether through public speaking, mentoring the youth, or trusting God through each pivot, Kendall has showed us how spiritual wealth fuels true success.
Yes.
Not optical success, true success. So if you've been knocked down, confused, or lost, know that you're not alone. Like Kendall said, your alarm clock doesn't wake you up. It's God. It's your God-given purpose. So now, I guess Go find your why, share your story, and become undeniable. Does that sound right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
I wanna tell the people something. Um, I'm Mr. Overcomer. Every
Mm,
mountain I come across, I get over, and I also show people the path across the mountain. You are also overcomers. Everything you do, you wake up each and every day, and you are alive. But tomorrow might not be your last. Go find what you're gonna do, because the great Miles Monroe once said, "The graveyard is real rich because there's so many people that die with their purpose inside of them." Do not be one of them
mm,
people. Tomorrow, not promise. It is war going on right now in Iran and Israel right now
mm.
as we speak. The world is changing. So tap into what you are here for and make a difference.
Yeah. Amazing. All right. Stay superhuman. Peace.
Yes, sir.